No catch for MoviePass, and AMC's A-List is legit, while no one screams for Kathleen and Venom has Sony seeing black. Today on The Minute. Hey, hello. Welcome once again to another episode of The Minute. My name is Sam.
I'm Chad.
And thank you so much for listening. We are brought to you by Movie Night Autopsy, and we've got a couple of things we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, we're just kind of going through one thing after another, kind of catching up a little bit.
Yeah. There's a couple of noteworthy things. First of all, early reviews for Venom are starting to come out.
And
So far, it sounds kind of soft. Go figure.
Kind of meh.
Who would have thought? The main one that stuck out to me is I saw somebody comparing it to stuff from the early 2000s, which makes me think of Spider-Man 3.
What kind of stuff? Like early 2000s superhero movies, or just kind of the menace of the time?
I don't know. It doesn't sound like a good comparison.
No, that's probably true. I didn't think about that, but it's interesting. I don't know. I got a feeling even if it was decent, people don't want to like it. But then again, they may be totally right about this one. I'll have to find out.
No, I mean, there's a part of me that does want to like it. It's just that from what I've seen, I'm just so not optimistic about it.
Yeah.
That's really where I'm at.
I mean, the final judge is still to call in, but we got a feeling we know which way the verdict's going.
But I feel like a lot of people feel that way about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are some people who are excited about it. Don't get me wrong. I've seen it. But so many people are just kind of waiting to see what happens, kind of. And that's not what Sony wants right now with early reviews dropping. They don't want people just kind of being oh, yeah, well, it sounds like maybe it's fine.
No, they want people camping out. They want pre-sale tickets to be huge.
They want to get some kind of buzz going for this. They've been reaching and trying so hard to get people excited, and just
this is the closest thing to what they've been trying to do for the last 5-6 years.
Well, they're trying to prove that they can do this without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And we will see. I mean, it drops this weekend. I don't think I'm going to be able to go see it this weekend.
I'm not going to see it this weekend. I just don't have the time.
But I'll definitely be checking it out as soon as I get a chance to. But we'll see whenever the official reviews come in, because the official reviews don't come in till tomorrow. These are just quote unquote early reactions.
Gotcha.
So take that for what it is. In other news and lighter news, the Hellboy poster dropped recently.
Looks rad.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it. It's not who I want in the role of Hellboy.
I'm optimistic just because hearing the people who talk about it, and when Principal Photography ended, I forgot the actor's name, but he's on
Yeah, that's the thing. I gotta clarify. I feel like I gotta clarify. Yeah. Nothing against the guy who's playing Hellboy. Yeah. I can't even think of his name. It's just that it's not Ron Perlman. Yeah,
we wanted what the world wanted was a third Ron Perlman Del Toro movie. We're not gonna get it
because war never changes, and I was hoping neither did Hellboy.
But it looks cool. I like to see what direction they go
Ron Perlman references.
What?
I'm layering my Ron Perlman references. But anyways, so that's the thing. That looks pretty cool. There's a little bit of possible news coming out for the Batman movie. The Batman movie.
Oh, the Batman movie.
Yeah.
As opposed to a Batman movie.
It's the one with the in the title. It's that one.
Because it worked out for the Predator.
Yeah, it worked out so well for the Predator.
Well, if I can nerd out for a second, when often in the early comics in the 30s, they did refer to him as the Batman.
Oh yeah, I know.
So nerd-wise, I love that it's called that.
Nerd-wise, I am also a fan. I am a fan. I was a fan when they announced it. I'm a fan of Matt Reeves being the guy who's going to direct it.
It's going to look awesome.
I mean, yeah, seriously, War for the Planet of the Apes, Woof
Come on. Woof Dakota.
How good do both of those movies look?
All the Podas.
Even though Dot Poda is a waste of Gary Oldman. Not that Gary Oldman's bad. It's just that
yeah, he wasn't super utilized.
When you use Gary Oldman, you should really use Gary Oldman. You know what I mean? And that movie just kind of has him there for most of it. But the movie looks great. It's shot great story. I love that whole series. So I'm very excited to see where he takes the character of the Batman, especially hearing him talk about it. He's always said it's going to be more noir, detective oriented.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome. That's what the character should be.
What's the good news?
The news about it, yeah, because there's news about it.
Yeah, we got triggered.
Yeah, just when we're talking Batman,
we just get triggered.
Yep, almost did it again. No, the news about it is that it's supposed to start shooting sometime middle of next year.
Okay, so that's middle next year. We're looking at probably a summer 2020 release.
Yeah, probably something like that. It's probably because, yeah.
Have they set a budget yet?
Usually it's going to be about a year turnaround. I don't think it's going to be like Justice League got out of hand because of the reshoots and all that. Mm-hmm. But even what the original budget was for Justice League, I don't think it's going to be working with that kind of budget.
Yeah, I mean,
probably under 200.
Yeah, I understand that. I've always thought that if there was
Maybe
a way
under 150.
I could see them getting by with 100.
Yeah, I
frankly.
mean, if he really wants it to be like dark noir type, like detective-driven Batman story, like you can make that movie for 100 for sure.
Yeah, that's including like reshoots and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I mean, there's part of me that wants to see like a $50 million Batman movie. I want to see.
There's a part of me that does want to see.
Yeah,
that
because
movie,
I'm the type of guy who thinks that like oftentimes when you have obstacles and lack of budget and time,
it forces you to be creative.
be more creative. So I'd like to see what that movie looks like.
Especially from somebody like Reese.
Yeah, totally. But with that, I feel a little bit more comfortable with it because they're just like, hey, we can make a Batman movie, and it's not the most important thing we ever put out, so we have to worry about it all the time and freak out. Because when you freak out, people make bad decisions.
That's kind of how. Yeah, that's kind of what ends up happening most of the time.
I think with this one,
I mean, that's what's been happening to Warner Brothers almost exclusively, and everything DC related that they're doing.
Yeah, but I think if everyone goes into it just like with less of a chip on its shoulder and just try to make a good Batman movie, we'll be fine.
Right, because I mean, like that's what Patty Jenkins did with Wonder Woman. I feel like she was just trying to make a good movie built around that character, and she happened to pull that off.
Oh yeah, she was great.
But DC just they have this way, and they're doing it with this too because Wonder Woman worked, and so what's DC doing? They're doing a Birds of Prey movie. They're fast tracking Supergirl. They're trying to do something with Batgirl, and don't get me wrong, it's not that like these movies could be good, but I feel like it's kind of an overcorrection on DC's part.
Okay.
And that worries me.
Yeah, they haven't fully knocked down their main characters yet.
Yeah.
It's like successfully for all the stuff that we stick up for with those characters on this podcast.
Well, Wonder Woman worked because it wasn't like a cash grab or an attempt to capitalize on anything. It was just we're going to have these people make this movie because this is the movie that we need somebody to make, and these are the people to make it. And then those people showed up and made a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
yeah.
And just are they gonna be able to pull that off with all these movies that they're now talking about?
Oh, we'll see. I don't know.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this Batman movie. In lighter news, as far as the DC universe goes, and this isn't official news, it's just like a tidbit that I saw while I was browsing through the news.
You tidbitting?
I was just a little tidbit, just to make us all feel kind of nice about things. Kevin Smith just thinks we should have more Superman movies, and that's just nice.
Yeah, we just need to echo that. It's not news. It's just a nice thing to say.
It's just a nice thought from Kevin Smith. You know what? I would love to see Kevin Smith's Superman movie.
We kind of almost got one in the 90s.
Kevin Smith?
Kevin Smith. He wasn't going to direct it. He was hired to write it.
Oh, that's right.
He was hired to write that Tim Burton one that never happened.
Yeah.
With John Peters producing and saying how you got to put giant spiders in it.
Just make it work. Just make it work.
He's like, can I call him Thanagar?
That's right. No, that's a good documentary. I watched it. I think I watched it on Amazon one day.
Yeah, it's a great documentary.
It's a really good documentary.
Plus, he's always directing episodes of Supergirl for the CW and other.
And he's done a couple of The Flash.
Yeah. He's I mean, if he had the
comic book man for 7 years, his fandom of the comic book related medium is well documented. He wrote a couple of Batman runs.
Those were some good Batman runs. Did you read his Green Arrow run?
I haven't, but I've heard good things.
He it actually, I don't know how else to put it. It's a metaphysical Green Arrow story.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
weird.
Totally, but another time.
Another time.
Yeah.
It's just nice to hear Kevin Smith's thoughts on things sometimes.
Because he often has great ideas.
When he's not making dick jokes, and it didn't sound like he was making any.
Well, I'll give him time.
And just I applaud the restraint, Kevin. Way to go on the restraint. But that's all that I was able to dig up today. So are we gonna get down to the nitty gritty of this one?
All right, let's do this. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves, even though this is a short sleeve
search. Because this has been a long time coming. We've been building up to this one.
So if you've been listening to the minutes for a while, the first couple ones we did, in fact,
been listening to the minute for a minute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Gonna let you sit on that one for a minute.
Just gonna keep that
ball.
That's the joke that keeps on not being funny. All right, sorry, you go ahead.
All right. So one of the first ones recorded was about the AMC MoviePass when they started having problems. Me and Sam.
Well, it was more MoviePass related. The AMC thing hadn't really come to light.
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm mixing the.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. No, but it was about MoviePass.
MoviePass, because we were MoviePass users and we were not happy.
We were not happy.
And they were going through a bunch of stuff in the news, and
they were sending us all emails. Well, they were sending me emails.
I never got one email.
You never got any.
The only one I got was the one you forwarded to me
Yep.
after I politely asked you to.
Yep.
So we did a couple episodes on that. Our issues with it. We did 2 episodes.
Well, we did 1 episode, and then like about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, there was like even more shit that had hit the fan.
Oh, it got
so
to
it's like I think we got to talk about this again.
It got to the point where it's just like I can't go see a movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm paying to go see a movie, and I'm not going to see a movie because they took out like the new run movies, and it was right around the time Mission Impossible 6 came out, and that all
was
I wanted
after
to see.
like because when they first set it up, like you could go see a movie however many times you wanted. They had already taken that away. Then they took away the first runs. Then they had just like the day before we started talking about it, or maybe it was that day. I'd have to go back and listen to the minute. But we tried to go and see Black Klansman.
Yes. This was that day.
But when we pulled it up, we could either go see The Meg or I forget what.
Some other movie.
I didn't want to go see
Some movies we didn't want to see that day.
And I even remember thinking, like, you know what? I kind of want to get around to The Meg, but that's not what I want to go see today. Like, and you're going to force me to either not go to the movies or I can go see this movie?
Yes, this is at the point. We're at the point where this is costing me $10 a month.
This deal's getting worse all the time. 3 for 3.
That's why you suggested we talk about this today, didn't you?
That was my plan all along.
You've been planning
totally
this
did
for
not
7
just
weeks.
come to me in the moment.
All right, so we did that episode. We uploaded it. We recorded it.
Well, we recorded it. We wrapped it. John broke all his stuff down. We hung out for a minute, and John left, and me and you were just kind of sitting around hanging out like, well, are we going to go and see Black Klansman anyways? Like, what are we going to, just feeling bummed.
We didn't want to pay the regular ticket price
because that's why I have a MoviePass.
We're past that part in our lives. We've moved on, but we've evolved from that,
if you will.
And I just wasn't having it, so I said, screw it. Let's do this, and we both canceled our movie passes.
We both reluctantly came to the conclusion of canceling the movie pass. Within an hour of us wrapping that episode, our movie passes were canceled. Within an hour of that, we had each successfully signed up for the AMC A-List.
Yes. Which,
if you have an AMC theater in your hometown, you've heard of this if you go to it at all. And if you listen to this podcast, I'm sure you go to the movies. But we were able to successfully do that. And we went that day and went and saw Black Klansman.
And it's totally worth it. It's amazing. I love it so much. Okay, so the main difference.
So worth it. We're just going to chill out for AMC here for a minute.
Yeah,
but the difference is we're not getting paid by AMC.
They are not paying us one dime.
They're paying us and being able to go and see movies, and it's just so convenient.
You know what? Now that we say it out loud, I feel like this is a fair transaction.
I mean,
give them
seriously,
money to go see movies, and they give me this deal, and I talk about it.
After tax, it's $21.50. That's what I pay.
A month.
$21.50 after tax.
And you get to see 3 movies a week, whatever you want to see.
And I've been seeing easily a movie a week.
Totally.
And I've been seeing like a couple IMAX screenings a month.
We went to 2001 in IMAX, and that was fantastic.
It covered 2001 in IMAX.
Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
like I hate myself just like because all we're doing is just going on and on about how great this AMC corporate product is, but like it just
gets better all the time.
If you're a person who goes to the movies frequently, it's easily the better deal than MoviePass. Because even with MoviePass, like whenever it was working, I would still go to the theater and I'd be like kind of afraid that it wasn't going to work.
Because sometimes it didn't work.
And or it would work and they'd give me the ticket and I'd be like, I'm going to get a couple of steps in and they're going to be like, oh, wait, hold on a second. Excuse me, sir. Did you really think you were going to get away with that? I thought something bad was going to happen every time I went to the theater.
You said it.
I was waiting for it.
In the first episode we did, whereas you corrected me, I said, we've been using MoviePass, and you said, no, sir, we've been taking advantage of MoviePass. And it feels that way using it, like you're sneaking in. I'm walking through the front door and handing the person at the front a thing. I still feel like I'm sneaking in.
Oh, yeah, I'm stealing from somebody in this situation.
And with the A-List, I didn't want to do it at first because I wasn't sure, and then we did it, and I immediately appreciated everything about it.
And as much as I hated the people that were in that priority line, because you know that priority line.
We all judge.
The yellow tape line over to the left of the regular person, the regular schmuck line.
Yeah, the super long regular schmuck line. Because
and you always just look at the people in that priority line, just hate them.
Yeah, we know you do, because we did.
Well, now we are those people.
And you know what? I don't blame you.
Haters gonna hate, but
I don't blame you.
But I'm gonna get my beer before you.
Yep, I stand in line with 3 people instead of 30.
Yep.
And you know what? That's really makes it worth it.
Yeah, but I will say, like, all right, like that's all the good. That's all the good. And there's a whole lot of good.
There's a whole lot of good. It's easier to use.
The one concern, it's super convenient.
MoviePass had this whole
it's super convenient.
dance you had to do to buy a ticket.
But all right, first of all, like the minor inconvenience with AMC is that like I'm sure you guys have noticed, like you have to, because even our audio engineer John, he signed up for AMC after we did, because we were just going on about it. But the one drawback I've noticed is you do have to buy your ticket like an hour.
At least.
Something like that.
Yes.
Like within that window. Because if you get too close to like that 50-minute mark, it just cuts off and you can't get tickets anymore. That's kind of annoying. So
it's a little annoying.
You got to stay on the ball to an extent, but it's not a huge deal.
You can't be spontaneous about your movie going.
My main concern, however, is, okay, so let's say that AMC, they succeed and they're able to drive MoviePass out of business and discourage anyone else from trying this thing because they're going to be able to have the market on it because they're working with their own theaters and yada yada. There are a couple of I will note there's a couple other theaters that are working out a similar thing.
Regal has something like this.
Regal has something like this in the works, but none of those theaters are around here, so it doesn't really apply to us specifically as much. Just because we live in an AMC area, just like there's nothing but AMCs. All the theaters are AMCs. But my concern is like if they succeed in that and they do drive MoviePass down. Which I'm looking at an article right now that's saying MoviePass has seen a 76% decline in new app downloads since June. That's huge. And AMC in the past 3 months in that span of time has gained 120,000 members, and they're at about 380 right now, just south of 4.
Okay.
And that's an awful lot considering that they just launched this recently. Let's say that they drive MoviePass out of business. How does their business model shift if they no longer have that competition?
Well, I think they can do the classic thing of raising prices if they want to. However, I think AMC is a little bit smarter in making its move to learn that's the bedrock of the problem with MoviePass was price changes.
Right. That's what started the avalanche.
Yeah.
They started shifting around their model.
If they're making money, they don't have to raise the price for quite a while. And, I think they've been smart about it because basically what they're doing is cutting out the middleman. Even though the middleman was created in the first place when they didn't need a middleman.
Right.
But they're cutting out the middleman now.
It was a dark time there, Chad. It was dark times then. We didn't even have the internet.
No internet.
No internet. How did people put their podcasts out if they didn't have internet?
They put it on the radio.
Oh, well, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Or they just recorded it to a cassette tape, drove around in their Ford Aerostar.
Do you want to hear my thoughts on Superman 3? And just threw their tapes out the window.
I'm going to need that Memorex case back. I need to record another episode. You just hit me in the face.
Just if you listen to it, just mark a check off of it and then pass it to somebody else. But tell them that they got to mark it. I got to be able to track the views. Otherwise, I get demonetized. All right, you need a minute.
I need a minute.
Need a minute.
You throw it tapes out of windows.
Yeah, we went there.
We went there.
Are
we going to cover AMC getting sued?
For no particular reason. AMC is not getting sued. MoviePass is getting sued.
This is why you're in charge of the minute, because I keep saying the wrong thing. So why don't you start there?
Well, you see, that's the thing. That was my cue to pass this last little bit off to you because
sorry.
No. I'm glad you brought that up. I was lost in the bit.
Okay.
MoviePass. Just one quick note about MoviePass, and that's in the sinking ship that is their company.
And boy, is it sinking.
I'm just not trying to hate. I'm just calling it like I see it. Like
you're calling a sinking ship a sinking ship.
They are being sued by their shareholders right now for alleged fraud because they are putting their members in select test groups. Because they didn't. Because what happened is a couple months ago, they were given an option to opt into the new plan or their old plan stops. So if you don't opt in, then your MoviePass is just canceled. Well, apparently, if you didn't opt in now, you're going to be re-roped into it based on your old payments because you're in this select test group. And it's going to... And now the asterisk is that they're going to go back to the old billing cycle of $9.95, and you can go and see one movie a day, probably still no repeats, and I think first runs are in it. But like, are we just gonna repeat this song and dance until the money finally runs out? Like,
possibly.
It's just kind of sad at this point.
It's a lot of opt-in and rope-in, in and out, and it's just deceivious because they're opting people in and then letting them know that they're opt-in, and then you have to take the time to opt out.
Yeah, by sending an email to their spam folder probably.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you opt out of things.
And then
That's how businesses are run.
and then you really know about it whenever you check your bank account and you're just
Pretty
like,
much.
what is that?
I've been checking.
I thought I canceled that.
I've been checking my bank account every day.
MoviePass, why can't I get rid of you?
I've been checking my bank account every day just to make sure that I haven't been opted in without myself knowing about it.
Yeah, it's
pretty ridiculous.
It's got you paranoid.
Yeah, I'm really worried about it.
You know, like you're
I mean,
like
not that worried, but still.
It's got you paranoid like a guy at a diner is being chased by a trucker, and you know that any one of these guys could be the guy in that truck.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That would never happen. Especially in California.
That would never happen on I-5.
No, not outside Bakersfield.
No, not in 1971. Okay, this is getting way too meta for our own goods. Did we cover all the bases? Are there no more bases left to cover?
No, I think that's pretty much it. A-List is awesome, and I appreciate it. I tell everyone how great it is. And they're not paying us.
Yeah, they are not paying us. They totally can if they want to.
That'd be nice.
You know, like we have our information down below, AMC. If you want to work out a deal,
sponsorship.
If you want to work out a deal, we will talk you up even more than we already did today.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug for somebody else's stuff, but I enjoy it so much. Yes. Anyways, that's going to do it for us today on The Minute. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Sam.
I'm Chad.
And we are brought to you by Movie Night Autopsy. Please hit us down below if you're watching this on YouTube. Send us messages any other way that you can find to send us messages. There are just oh so many. And thank you as always for listening.
What's up, crew? If you got any idea of what you would like for us to talk about on The Minute or on Movie Night Autopsy podcast, hit us up on the social medias. You can hit us up on Twitter at movie_autopsy. Check us out on Facebook at Movie Night Autopsy. Always feel free to email us, contact@movienightautopsy.com.